Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in because, well, we're tackling a subject that literally hangs right over our heads. If you're a property owner here in Gauteng, you already know the drill, right? Maintaining a building isn't just about making it look pretty, it's a constant, ongoing battle against the elements. Today, we're breaking down exactly what you need to know about securing your property, and we're drawing directly from the specialists at Logiline Waterproofing. We're going to look at why buildings fail, how water sneaks its way in, and most importantly, how to stop it for good. Let's get right to it.
Okay, let's dive into this. We all know that feeling. It's late afternoon, sometime between October and March. The sky turns that crazy, bruised purple color, the wind suddenly picks up, and then, boom, the heavens just open up. Gauteng's summer thunderstorms are completely legendary, but man, they are incredibly destructive too. We're not talking about a gentle, persistent drizzle here. We're talking about a sudden, aggressive deluge. So this question isn't just theoretical for us. Is your roof actually prepared to handle that massive volume of water in such a short amount of time? Or are you kind of just crossing your fingers every single time you hear thunder?
You see, the rain is really only part of the story. Gauteng actually throws a unique trifecta of environmental threats at us, waging this invisible, constant war on our buildings. First up, we've got extreme UV exposure that just relentlessly bakes and degrades roofing materials. Then, add in those massive daily temperature swings. Blistering hot during the day, dropping rapidly at night. That causes building materials to constantly expand and contract. And finally, the hidden enemy, right under our feet, clay-heavy soils. Great for making pottery, absolutely terrible for your foundation. When it rains, the clay expands, and when it dries, it shrinks. All that shifting pulls at your foundation, cracks walls, destroys plaster, and basically creates the perfect little entry points for water. So we're not just dealing with moisture, we are dealing with continuous structural assaults.
And because of all those shifting, expanding, and contracting materials, well, water is always going to find the path of least resistance. We constantly see water sneaking in under roof ridges, seeping straight through cracked screeds, hiding behind shower tiles, and literally pushing up from the ground right through concrete slabs. Water's just relentless. It doesn't need some massive gaping hole. A tiny hairline fracture caused by that shifting clay soil is more than enough. This makes proactive property protection an absolute necessity, guys. It's definitely not a luxury you can just put off until next year.
Which brings us to a massive point of frustration for property owners. It's actually perfectly captured in this core philosophy from Logiline. Most contractors patch symptoms. We find the source and fix it properly. I mean, think about it. How many times have you paid someone to just slap a layer of sealant over a damp patch or over a cracked tile, only for the exact same leak to show up the very next storm season? Patching the symptom is literally just a temporary band-aid. If you don't trace that water all the way back to its actual source, which, by the way, could be meters away from where the damp is actually showing up, you are just throwing your money down the drain.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the distinct science behind how we actually defend against these elements. People use the terms damp-proofing and waterproofing interchangeably all the time, but they're entirely different defense systems. Damp-proofing is specifically designed to resist moisture vapor transmission. It's the stuff you apply to walls and floors to treat rising or penetrating damp. The annoying stuff that bubbles your paint and causes mold in older homes. Waterproofing, on the other hand, provides full-on resistance to liquid water under pressure. This is the heavy-duty defense essential for your roofs, your basements, and retaining walls. Knowing the difference between just treating a symptom and applying the right targeted defense system, well, that's half the battle won right there.
And when that right defense system is applied correctly, the results really do speak for themselves. 10 to 15 years. That is the actual lifespan of a professionally applied waterproofing system. But there's a pretty massive caveat here. You only get that kind of longevity if the contractor properly matches the chemical product to Gauteng's extreme UV exposure and the specific substrate conditions of your property. You absolutely cannot just use a one-size-fits-all product and expect it to survive a whole decade of our blistering sun and shifting soils. No way.
All right, moving right along to Section 1, Targeted Waterproofing Defense Systems.
So how exactly do we achieve that 10 to 15-year protection? Let's explore the specific arsenal of targeted defense systems that Logiline uses to combat these environmental threats. They essentially match specific weapons to specific enemies. Let's start right at the top with roof defenses. A roof isn't just one flat surface, right? It's a complex system of angles, materials, and joints. Logiline offers highly tailored solutions for tile roofs, concrete flat roofs, and IBR and corrugated sheeting. They pay incredibly close attention to the most vulnerable points, which are usually your ridges and flashings. Plus, they specialize in heavy-duty torch-on applications.
These aren't just minor repairs, this is vital armor designed to seal your property tight and stop those leaks long before the summer storms can cause severe, crazy expensive damage to your ceilings and structural timber.
But hey, the threat doesn't just stop at the roof. Like we discussed earlier, Gauteng-specific clay soils demand really rigorous structural waterproofing. Logiline specifically targets the areas that are constantly under siege from moisture and pressure. We're talking showers, chimneys, underground cellars, and retaining walls. They even tackle massive reservoirs and industrial expansion joints. Look, when you have literal tons of wet, heavy soil pressing against a basement wall, standard paint is just not going to cut it. You need a specialized structural defense to keep that space dry and structurally sound.
To pull all of this off, Logiline doesn't just rely on one single type of coating. They have a really diverse, advanced toolkit of waterproofing systems. Depending on the exact job, they might deploy cementitious systems, super durable bitumen, flexible acrylics, or even a state-of-the-art seamless rubber spray. By having access to this wide array of chemical systems, they can perfectly match the right product to the specific environmental challenge and surface they're dealing with. That's what ensures maximum adhesion and long-lasting longevity.
And for those of you managing commercial or industrial properties, this next part is absolutely crucial. A leaking warehouse roof or a compromised industrial floor joint can literally halt your operations, ruin inventory, and cost your business thousands in downtime. Logiline actually handles these massive, large-scale jobs, but more importantly, they offer the flexibility to work after hours and on weekends. This means they can completely overhaul a commercial flat roof or waterproof an entire shopping center without disrupting your day-to-day business operations at all. A real game changer for sure.
Okay, let's shift gears to Section 2, the Logiline difference and guarantee. Now that we understand the science and the systems, let's talk about the business side of things. Let's be honest for a second. Hiring contractors can be an incredibly stressful experience. The key here is looking at how Logiline completely removes that risk for you, the consumer. First and foremost, they operate as fully licensed and insured specialists, and they carry comprehensive public liability insurance. That means you and your property are fully protected on every single job. Furthermore, they back all of their work with a really solid workmanship warranty. Their policy is brilliantly simple. If they fix it and it leaks again, they come back and fix it again. No argument. Add in a strict no hidden fees policy, and you've got a contractor relationship built entirely on trust and accountability.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how accessible these solutions are across the map. Johannesburg, Pretoria, the East, West, North, and South Rand, right through to Centurion and Midrand. Just one single call covers the entire province of Gauteng. You don't have to waste time hunting down some niche local guy who might not even have the right equipment. You get province-wide expertise, really fast response times, and they even offer same-day call-outs for those nasty emergencies.
So how do you actually get them out to your property? Well, they've made the process incredibly easy and completely risk-free. Step 1. You just call or drop a WhatsApp to 081-016-3479. Step 2. During business hours, you will get a response within exactly 1 hour. There's no waiting around for days wondering if they got your message. And Step 3, they come out to you for a free on-site assessment. They find the actual source of the problem and they give you a written quote, all with zero call-out fees. It seriously couldn't be simpler to get a professional evaluation. And when they actually hand you that written quotation after the free assessment, you can take it straight to the bank. The quote you get is the price you pay. In an industry that is notoriously famous for creeping costs, quote-unquote unforeseen complications, and sudden mid-project invoices, this level of transparency is incredibly reassuring. It just provides total financial peace of mind, letting you budget for your property's maintenance without the constant fear of nasty surprises.
So, that brings us to our final point, and I want to leave you with a really direct question based on everything we've unpacked in today's explainer. Go ahead, look up at your ceiling right now, think about your basement, or consider that annoying damp spot on your exterior wall. Are you going to wait for the next massive Gauteng thunderstorm to force you to just patch another symptom? Or are you finally ready to find the actual source, fix it properly, and secure your property for the next 10 to 15 years? The science, the advanced systems, the rock-solid guarantees, they are all right there. The next step is simply making the call. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, stay dry out there.